Hi and good morning student. So today we will learn on chapter 7 which is electricity and magnetism, but for today we only focus on index 7.1 which is electricity. So electric. We always use electric to switch on the television, to cook rice and also to switch on the lamp. But do you know that electricity is one of the form of energy? Do you know what is meant by energy? So, before we go deeper into this index which is electricity, first thing you need to know is about energy. So, here, as you can see here, energy. Energy is ability to do work, which means that if we, for example, if we want to walk to go to the school, we need the energy. If we want to eat, we also need energy. A car that want to move, it also need energy that come from the fuel. And also a bulb that want to produce a light, it also need energy. So this means that all living thing and non-living thing need energy. So if you want to write the value for the energy, you need to use the SI unit given, which is the SI unit for the energy is joule. So here I have the example of the picture of the person that if they want to run, they use the energy. So the plant also need energy, which is the plant want to undergo a process known as photosynthesis. It also need energy. So there are various forms of energy. So the thing that you need to remember about the energy is the energy we cannot create or destroy, which means that we cannot make the energy, we cannot destroy the energy. However, the energy has in a various form. For example, first is about the sound energy. Sound energy is a energy that we can hear. For example, music. Next example of energy is kinetic energy. So kinetic energy is energy that happen because of the motion. So as you can see here in the picture is a lady riding a bicycle. So the motion that created by the bicycle is the thing that we call is as kinetic energy. So next is electrical energy. Electrical energy is energy that will produce when the electrical appliance being connected to the electrical source. And then next is gravitational potential energy. So gravitational potential energy is object that stay at its position because of gravity. And then next is electrical potential energy. So elastic potential energy is happen when the object being compressed, stretched, or the object want to back to its normal state. So next is light energy. So light energy is a form of energy that happen when the source of the object is being connected to the electric. And then next is nuclear energy. So nuclear energy is when the energy being generated when we use the nuclear reaction, which is this nuclear reaction will produce energy to generate heat. And then next energy is heat energy. So heat energy is occur because of movement of a tiny particle. And then lastly is chemical energy. So for chemical energy, our body produce chemical energy when we consume carbohydrate, which is the carbohydrate will be converted into glucose, and then inside the glucose it will form a chemical energy. So these are the form of energies. However, where does this energy come from? Actually, the source of energy is come from this eight source of energy, which is first we gain the energy from the sun, which is usually nowadays we use the sun for solar energy. And then next is biomass. So biomass is energy that generate or produced by living or non-living organism. For example, we use plants such as corn, which is the corn will be burned, and then when the biomass, which is when the corn being converted into biomass, this energy will be burned, and then this energy will create a heat or electricity. And then next source of energy is water. So in our country, we use hydroelectricity, which is we have a dam, right? So water as energy is the energy that being derived or the energy that being produced when the because of the power of the water of motion, which is when the, as you can see from the picture, when the water have the motion, so it will generate the energy. So in our country we use hydroelectricity. So next is fossil fuel. So fossil fuel that we use is coal, oil, and also natural gas, which is this fuel is come from a decayed plant or animal, which is as you can see, usually the fossil fuel is at the ocean. And then next is wind. So for the wind, we use the motion of the wind to create the source of energy. And then next is radioactive substances. So for the radioactive substances, usually the radioactive we use is alpha, beta, and also gamma ray. So these radioactive substances is very harmful because of it can penetrate into our body. And then next is wave. So wave is the energy that being produced when the wave transport and capture of energy by the ocean wave, which is as you can see in the picture, this machine will transport and also will capture the motion of the ocean surface wave. And then lastly is geothermal, which is geothermal is the energy that occur because of the thermal energy that generate and store in the earth's surface. So these are the 8 sources of energy that you need to remember. Okay, so next we will move to the next lesson, which is electrostatic charge. So have you ever go to the supermarket? I think yes. So if you go to the supermarket, so when you want to touch the trolley, sometimes you will feel electric shock. So do you know what the cause of this electric shock happen? Actually, this is because of the static electric charge, which is known as electrostatic charge. So the electric shock is happen when the electric charge in our body is being transferred to the object that already have static electric charge. So when the transfer of electric charge between our body and also the object that have static electric charge, it will produce a electric shock. So these are the cause of electric shock. So next, so as you can see in this picture, so electric charge consists of two, which is positive charge and also negative charge. The positive charge we call it as proton, while negative charge we call it as electron. So this electric charge will undergo attraction and also repulsion. So as you can see in this picture, so it's like a magnet. So when the charge has a similar characteristic, which is when it has similar for example proton with proton or electron with electron, it will repel or it will move to the other side. However, when the charge is between proton and also electron, which is between positive and also negative charge, it will attract to each other. So that's the difference. If it has a similar charge, it will repel, while if they have a different charge, it will attract. Okay, so next we will move to the electrostatic charge, which is electrostatic charge has a negative charge, positive charge, and also natural. So as being stated here, if the two different objects are rubbed together, if for example, if I rub a ruler and also a cloth, so when I rub these two objects, the only charge that transfer from one object to another is electron. Ever proton do not move. So the object that gain electron, we call it as negatively charged. However, the object that lose electron, we call it as positively charged. So for the object that has equal number of proton and also electron, we call it as neutral. So to make you more clear, you can see in this picture. So as you can see in the first picture, which is on the red color, so the number of proton is more than number of electron. So we call it as positively charged. So for the number of we go to the light green one. So for the number of electron that have more number than proton, we call it as negatively charged. Next, for the proton that have some or the number of proton and also electron are the same, we call it as natural. So these are the example of effect of production of electrostatic charge. So you can do it by your own at home, which is you take a comb and then you take a woolen cloth or a towel and then you rub between these two, and then after you rub this comb and also the cloth or the towel, you can see that the comb able to attract a piece of paper. This is because of, as I mentioned earlier, when the charge has a different charge, so it will attract to each other. So the reason why the comb able to attract the piece of paper is because of the force of attraction that exists between the positive charge on the piece of paper and also the negative charge on the comb. So to make you more clear about this experiment, you can see in this video. So after it being rubbed, as you can see here, so you can see, right, the comb able to attract the piece of paper. So that's all for today. So I hope that you understand about this topic. So for the other topic, we will learn on this Friday. So after this, I want you to make your own simple note and then you give it to me. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you.